Hey guys, one more time on video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Friday evening to you all. Happy game day eve. Spurs play Saturday evening, actually. In 25 hours from when I record this, Spurs play at home to Wolves, and I can only describe as such an odd game, an odd fixture. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how Wolves are somewhat a bit of a bogey team, a bit of kryptonite for Tottenham. We're going to be talking about that. A bit of team news, a little bit of good news, a little bit of bad news in that regard, and yeah, just plenty of just general thoughts to get through on this. I won't dilly dally. I won't hide away from it. We're going to jump in and talk. So, look, Wolves is a team that's struggling this season. You know, this season, the Premier League, you're talking about a team that is bottom of the league. You know, it's a team that. It's weird. They go last season with a team that's one of the most informed teams in the league to this season, 5 games, 5 losses, only 3 goals scored and 12 goals conceded. So I've already got a goal difference of -9, which you counteract that to where we are. 5 games, 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, 10 goals scored and 3 conceded with a 7 goal difference. So already a 16 goal difference swing between the two, and we're only 5 games in. It's a weird one with Wolves because, like I said, last season they actually were very, very good, and the fall off has been incredible. I mean, Spurs in the last 10 games have only won 3 times against Wolves, actually losing more than anything. So the 3 games that we won were in 2021. 2 of them were in 2021, sorry, and then the other was in 2022. So we've not beaten Wolves in 3 years, which is unacceptable, to be honest. Spurs in the last 5 games have lost 4 and drawn once, and that's unacceptable, flat out unacceptable. Wolves have been good. They've not been that level of good that we've not been able to beat in, 5 games, 1 win in 7 games against Wolves is really, really poor. So, this isn't a dig at any old potential, sort of specific manager, but that just isn't good enough, flat out. A little bit of team news in our regards is that everyone that was available from the last league game is still available, which is great news. Thomas Frank said in midweek, Pape was out as a precaution. He's trained today, so that's a positive. Cullen Moani's dead leg is dragging on and he'll be out for a few more days. Dom is not available. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm right in saying, Cullen Moani's injury is due to a knock from Pape Matar Sarr. So I think they've sort of injured themselves between them. So not great on that side of things. Not great, obviously, in Dom's injury side of things as well. Obviously, there's chatter that THFC may not be that far away from returning. Obviously, Dragicin, having been back in training is great. It's a great bit of news for us all. And I know Dragicin maybe isn't the flavour of the month with every single fan, but it's important to get these bodies back. You know the way Spurs go. We seem to pick up a million injuries from about late October onwards. So this is as healthy as we normally are. 4, 5 weeks into the season. Give it 9, 10 weeks into the season, we're an absolutely different breed. But I think there's a lot to build off of for Spurs. Obviously, midweek we rotated. We kept a lot of players fresh and fit. There's a lot to build off of last weekend. Obviously, the 2-2 draw away at Brighton. There's a lot to take away from that. There's a lot to take away from really, the big win away at Manchester City. Obviously, Mikel Arteta loves the idea that they're the best team ever to play against Manchester City, but never beats them. Yet Tottenham, who finish 17th, can beat Man City and beat them 4-0 away. But I guess that's irrelevant, isn't it? Lego head. But no, in all honesty, it's been a good start to the season. It's an opportunity to take another leap forward for Spurs. I sort of look at Spurs' sort of upcoming fixtures. Champions League midweek is another opportunity to double down. 6 point. If we can, go to Bodo Glimt, do what we did last year, win there. 6 points from 6 in the Champions League is massive. Away at Leeds on the Saturday next weekend. At home to Villa. Away to Monaco, away to Everton. There isn't a thought process in my mind as to why we can't win the majority of those. Villa are struggling. Leeds newly promoted sides. Wolves, bottom of the table. Bodo Glimt we beat last season. Monaco's a bit different. Everton is a team that I think over our time in the Premier League, we picked up the most points against them. So there's no reason why for through October and obviously the rest of September, why we can't have a really, really strong sort of 5 or 6 weeks. Obviously, massive depending on the international break that's in the earlier part of October. Obviously, we've got 15 games between the Leeds away game and the Villa home game, which is the 4th of October and the 19th of October. But there's no reason why we can't take a lot from these games and take a lot from it. I think Spurs are going to win this game. I do, against Wolves. I think we're going to win 3-1. I look at the team. Vic in goal. I know Kinski was good in the week, but Vic is still the number one. There's a weird attitude with Twitter people, and I know it's Twitter, and it's just a cesspit of miserable human beings that do anything for a bit of clout and do anything for a like and comment and subscribe. But Vic is the better keeper. Destiny's been picking up some more minutes. I still think it'll be Spence to start. I think it should be Spence to start. You can always go Destiny midweek against Bodo, or you go Destiny at home this weekend and you go Spence midweek against Bodo, depending on how you want to go about it. I still think you'll see Mickey and Kuti at centre back this weekend. Porro will be right back. I think into the midfield, I could see João Paulinho starting with Bentancur with Bergvall. Oh no. I feel like you don't need to be going sort of 3-6/8 with Bergvall. I think you could go Xavi Simons in the middle. You could go Kudus on the right. On the left, well, Striker, you're going to go Richie, aren't you? Unless they go Xavi Simons on the left with a doggy working with him, and then you go maybe Bergvall central. Maybe actually, what I'll do is I'll change it. They'll go Paulinho, Bentancur, Bergvall, because I think you can't drop Bergvall. He's been in good form. Simmons, Kudus, and Richarlison. Obviously, those three have been in some good form this season. Lots of production. So one thing I was worried about Kudus when we first signed him was, the production. Are we going to get it? You are seeing it. Xavi Simons obviously already looks like an absolute rock star. Richie's been in some decent form. Obviously, scoring goals. It's important. Keep him going. He's obviously the only striker we have in terms of, senior pros. Obviously, I know you've got Dane Scarlett, but he's the only one really. So, yeah, I think we're going to go 3-1. I think Spurs win this. Saturday night kickoff, win this. Try and kill the game off early, like we did with Doncaster. Get some rotation, get the fresh blood on. Get some of those bigger names off the pitch. Keep them fit and healthy. Use them, obviously, Tuesday. 3 games in a week. Need to be rotating if possible. And I could even see some rotation against Wolves this weekend, if I'm honest. I could even see, if that's the team that I've gone for, I could see there being more rotation. I could see, I don't know if Archie Gray will start this game, but I could see it. I could see, maybe even Kevin Dancer, featuring. I'd expect the fullbacks to be rotated a little bit potentially. Substitutions and things like that. The attackers, obviously, you've got Jono, who is in a bit of form. You've got Odegaard and Tell. They might go one of those guys to start with Simmons in the 10, but there's plenty of options that that coming into Bodo in the week we need to be fit and raring to go for. But let's see. Let me know your thoughts down below on the scoreline. Let me know your thoughts down below on goal scorers. I'm going 3-1. I'll go goal scorers. I'm going to go Xavi Simons, and I'll go for a Richie double. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll speak to you all very soon to talk a lot more about Tottenham. Take care. Peace.